default. We're gonna go over here. No, is it not working? It should be on. Okay. Hopes that working. All right, it is working. Cool. Okay, so let's see if it works. Geez, I don't know if I'm actually doing it right. Hold up 1 second. Uh, I want to go back to default and let's see. Let's see if it's working real quick. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, so geez, I don't know if I'm. Testing, 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 testing. Just make sure stuff works. Just make sure everything works. And let me go to my Twitter real quick. Let's share this. Copy. I am tricking everybody. Okay, so it does work. Cool. Sorry about that, everybody. I thought that I could like go ahead and do that. Let's go to my Twitter. Google Twitter. Twitter. And let's go ahead. And paste. Sweet. Okay. All right. Oh boy, I should never do that. I need to check that message real quick. So, how's everybody doing today? I hope everybody's doing all right. Just trying to make sure I promote real quick. Water, water, and sorry, it's just like I'm not used to. What's up, Mr. Gamer? How you doing? Let me get everything set up because I'm trying to get everything good. So, I hope I look good now. How's everybody doing today? It is hot and I am burning up. So, oh man, it's kind of crazy today. I am trying to make sure that I got everything set up. So, yeah, hope I sound pretty good. I had to switch my mic around just a little bit. I hope this setup is a little bit better. Move my mic somewhere else so it's more like out of the way. I got more room over here. Oh, you vibing? That's what's up. So I got my McDonald's drink. Got my tablet right here so I can like look at the chat and stuff. So that's pretty cool. Stage, stage shoot. I'm doing solid. The Incredible season 2 trailer dropped today. Oh, the Invincible season 2. Okay, that's what's up. So we are going to talk about two people. I was planning to do a video on him called Saltiest Gamer, but I think I'm about to do a live stream on it because he don't know nothing about PCs, and it actually kind of got my nerves a little bit because he don't know anything. Also, we want to talk about the drama between Clussy King, which I had to look up his what you call it, his channel. Give me a second, because I kind of want to go over the channel with Clussy and the drama with this one cat. Give me a second. There we go. I got to pull up just in case. And I also got to pull up my Discord because I talked to Mr. Gamer about this and it's ridiculous. I'm trying to make sure. Oh yeah, admin go too. Kind of want to do that too. Give me a second. Actually, I could pull it up. Give me a second. Boom. There we go. I could close that actually. All right. I kind of wanted to look it up. It's kind of like everywhere, and I'm trying to get everything set up. Give me a second. Do apologize. Everyone had been dunking on Saltiest Gaming lately. Is pretty funny. Yeah, he's a dumbass. I know. I'm trying not to cuss, so my thing is, if I cuss, I got to drink. So I'm gonna let that pass. But yeah. So right now, I might get heated about Saltiest Gaming. So what I want to do is I want to go ahead and talk about what was going on with Cluster King a little bit. I got my headphones right here, and oh, that's the wrong way. Da, 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 da. So let's go into this. Oh, I got 5 people in the channel. What's up, 5 people? Uh, kind of get rid of that right there and bring this up. Sorry, I'm just trying to make sure. There we go. Cool. Sorry, I'm just trying to make sure I got everything situated. There we go. Bring this over. So I'm and my friend Mr. Gamer. Thank you. He got everything pulled up. He sent me this stuff. Sorry, I don't have my print screen in the back. I just don't want to deal with it. So I'm just gonna call this person GG's. Apparently, this person is a transgender, so I'm gonna try to keep it as fair as possible. And I'm not going to try to misgender this person, so I'm just going to say this person. I'm going to call this person GG's. So the other day, a channel by the name of Plessy King put out a hit piece about me, which sent another small wave of hate my way. If you don't know, GG's made two videos on Vampire Survivors, and pretty much everybody been criticizing the Vampire Survivors. And honestly, this criticism, GG's, you gotta understand that if you're gonna put something out there, get ready for criticism. Everybody here get ready for criticism. Um, they misgender me in the title, so they're either a transphobe or just someone who can't be bothered to learn basic information about me. So I didn't bother watching their video. LOL. Oh, it's very muffled. Give me a second. Let me switch it down. Give me a second. Audio. Okay. How is that? Give me a 1 if you like it. Sup, Golden Apples? Give me a 1 if it sounds better. Everything's good, man. Everything good. We're defending Classic King right now. So, yeah. And this is me talking about the Vampire Survivors drama as well. Hope this video actually sounds better. Give me... Okay, 1. Gotcha. All right. So, couple things, GG. Number 1, you didn't even watch the full video. Just because somebody misgender you, you didn't finish watching the whole video. I want to keep it real. When I was younger, cool. When I was younger, I used to work at a place called McDonald's. And I never had a deep voice when I was a younger kid, especially when I was a teenager. When I worked in drive-thru, everybody thought I had a woman voice, a girl voice. So I was getting hit on in the drive-thru before they came to the window. So it's not the fact that they misgender me or whatever. I mean, this was way before, you know, the transgender was a big thing. Now I'm 36 years old, of course.
That's what's ages ago. But when they came to the window, they say, hey, I apologize. I thought you was a woman. I was like, no, it's fine. I just had a lighter voice when I was younger. So if somebody called me a woman, I'm like, okay. But then they see me, I'm a man. But I'm okay with that. So the thing about it is you didn't watch the video, so you didn't see the reason why people was pretty much criticizing you, GG. So you didn't take the time to watch the video. And I think that's very disingenuous. Missy is addressing the situation on her stream. Yeah, I saw it. I was trying to watch it, but I said I was going to go on around 6 o'clock EST. So yeah, I saw she was watching it. So yes, you failed to watch the full video. I can't, take that seriously. Anyways, this had got me thinking about this whole Vampire Survivor debate again. I debate doing a post-mortem video of the whole situation because getting dogpiled suddenly after spending 8 years on the channel. Wow, 8 years? Excuse me. Going completely under the radar had to be the strongest experience I have in a long time. The thing is, you made a crappy video that people disagree with you. It wasn't about your gender. It wasn't about who you are as a person. When you have an idea or you make a video, you're going to get criticized, either good or bad. That's just how the internet works. People got the freedom to say whatever they want. It could have been hate. It could have been good. But the thing is, it's still criticism. I got criticized too. I did a video a long time ago that everybody dogpiled me because I addressed a mental illness situation, but people came at me like, oh, but that's a black man. You should be on his side. No, I was on the side of mental illness, and people dogpiled me on that. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to keep my peace. I'm not even going to say nothing to him. It's like Quantum TV. He made something bad, and a lot of people disagree with him. It's just, that's just how it is. People going to have an idea, but you are not protected with to not get criticized. You're still going to get criticized. Let me read the chat real quick. Game over. I don't get why people she don't even watch the video before making ridiculous accusation against her. Exactly. So now you made an allegation of the person being transphobic, which that is slander. Just because somebody disagree with you does not make that person transphobic. And that's very wrongful of you. But this recent attack from this loser, you called a person loser and transphobic. So how is that fair? He criticized your video. Boy, has made me realize that these people honestly want to turn me into some kind of locale and use me to farm cheap clicks. And I'm not interested in playing these games. It's not a game. When people talk about something that is popular, it's going to be big. Like, look at Hardwork's legacy. Hardwork's legacy is starting to become bigger because a lot of people is calling other people transphobic for buying a game. Instead of them being like, okay, I'm just not going to buy a game. You could say you don't have to buy the game. But when people say they're going to buy a game, that doesn't make them what's the things they can say? Nazis, homophobic or transphobic. That's not the case. People just like the series. That doesn't have to do with anything. And for people to bash other people based on your being a transgender person is very wrong. I know my grammar kind of sucks. I should have corrected. No, it's fine. I mean, everybody going to mess up on grammar and stuff. I mean, what can you do? Go on to the next one. So commenting on my Vampire Survivor video are now permanently off. That's one thing this is one thing that I try to do. And I got the similar followings as you. I probably got 200 more, but that's not the case. You do not want to turn off comments. Just read them. You don't have to like them. Just let people say what they got to say. You don't have to like it, but honestly, when you turn off comments, you just can't handle the pressure. And me, I'm like, okay, people can say whatever they want. It's the freedom of speech, honestly. But hey, it's whatever. We didn't even know who the F you were. I cannot cuss. I'm getting better at that. And if I cuss, I gotta take this. If I cuss, let me know in the chat and I will take a shot. And I got my little Hasumi Miku glass right here. So just let me know. GG's. The only one turning you into a locale is yourself. Exactly. So you're the excuse me, you're the only one that making yourself into a locale. It's not us, it's you. Because you're the one that want to call somebody else a transphobic person. And that's not fair for that person. That's just not right. That is honestly, you sound like you're the bad person. If you're gonna call somebody else a transphobe, you're starting to become a bad person. And there's only two type of people in the world: good people and bad people. Doesn't matter what race you are, doesn't matter what gender you are, doesn't matter if you're transgender or whatever. There's only two type of people: good and bad. But hey, at the very least, she didn't abuse the copyright system like a certain tickle man. You better be lucky they abused the copyright system. But you did go to Asmongold and you asked Asmongold to take down the video. And to me, I think that's kind of wrong. And I'm not going to discuss the game in a public capacity again. I'm not going to let my identity on the internet be intransitionally linked to petty drama in a ideal game that I don't even like. You're the one that made the video. You could have took the video down, but we're gonna go over it. I swear, I think I'm gonna be hitting this a little bit because we got Saltiest Gamer later, and I'm gonna try my best not to go off. So you put your identity in the video. I want to keep 100% real. That's fine. But me, I don't care. I always tell people I'm an atheist. But that still doesn't mean that I'm a bad person or the next person is a bad person. I'm still going to be 100% real. That's just it. You know, I mean, if I want people to call me out, I'll put videos up there. I keep it up there for a learning experience because I know I'm a human being. I always make mistakes. And like I made a mistake on Twitter and I was trying to call Saltiest Gamer out, but there's another Saltiest Gamer out there. So I got to take responsibility of that because I messed up. And I'm about to fix that up later because I was wrong calling that person out. It was two Saltiest Gamers. And I'm like, okay, I got to fix that. I'm taking responsibility of the actions that I'm taking. That's just how it is. You have to take actions of stuff that you do. It's Newton's law. With every action, there's always going to be a reaction. You go ahead and put out something that was pretty much your opinion. A lot of people don't agree with your opinion, so people going to criticize you, but then you don't like the criticism, so you're going to call a person a transphobic person, and now you got all this backlash coming at you. How you going to call somebody a transphobic person without any evidence whatsoever? That's not right. I'm just going to continue doing what I've been doing on the channel for years, celebrating a game design. I mean, game design is always going to be subjective, so I'm not even going to be mad about that. And hey, I'm literally one subscriber away from hitting 500. I'm not going to trash on somebody's sub count, but 8 years with 500 subscribers is ouch. Me, I'm no better. I'm no better. I've been on a platform for what? I started making contacts for 2 years. So I'm not the one to be talking. I know this and relatively smaller. I know that's a relatively smaller number. Small number in the grand scheme of it, but I seriously doubt I would ever come this close to it. Thanks everybody. Everyone. Really wish I wasn't being brought over the finish line by a handful of people. Hate following me, but a number is a number. That's one thing I'm trying to figure out. You're playing the victim even though you're not the victim. You are not the victim because you're the one that claims somebody is a transphobe. And let's check out your what you call it real quick. Doop. This is your channel. Oh, nope. Here you go. Right here. This is your channel. 509 subscribers. Congrats. About. You don't have you being a transgender person. And going to be honest with you, I see the flag, and honestly, the flag doesn't mean nothing. The flag doesn't mean nothing, okay? If I put on my channel a Ukraine flag, does that mean I'm from Ukraine? No. There are people out there that will support the transgender community, and maybe they will put the flag up there. Just because you have a flag up there does not make you a transgender. Maybe you like the flag, maybe you support the transgender community. In order to show support, maybe they put the flag up there. And that's one thing you're not getting. You're not thinking outside the box. There's people out there that will put the flag up there. I'm from the US, but I'll put a Ukraine flag, or what? The Philippine flag, or the Japan flag. Give me 1 second, everybody. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Let me read the comments. I'm sorry. When you say anything on the internet, that will be someone who will criticize you, and she need to learn the lesson the right way. But when you're trying to make a point like Clessy is transphobic is dumb. I agree. I agree with you 100% on that. Just because you criticize somebody, just because you made a video, people are going to criticize it. That's 100% fine. But you can't just sit there and call somebody a transphobe just because they criticize you. And you didn't even watch the full video. So your defense is a failure. I comment on Clessy King community post addressing the situation. GG comment on there as well. And I pretty much broke down the whole situation in a response comment. Okay, I'm going to try to check that out. I wonder if he will find out about this stream. It doesn't matter. If he see it, that's great. But I mean, like I said, I don't try to tell people to subscribe to me or anything like that, because honestly, freedom of speech, freedom of doing whatever they want to do. So with me, that's why I don't tell people to subscribe or like or whatever. If other people want to say that for me, that's 100% fine. But I really, in that situation, I really don't care that much. But I do care about people who follow me. That's amazing. I'm happy for that. But it's like, they could like it if they want, and they don't have to like it. I'm not trying to force anybody to just like my stream just because I don't want to like do anything about that. We're also going to check this out. I don't want to like dox anybody or show anything that I don't want people to show. I'm being accused of being a transphobe despite the fact that this person does not mention their gender at all in their YouTube bio, which is true. When you watch a video, you're not really looking for people Twitter. They could look at the bio, but if you're not going to say you're a transgender person, then you failed at that. He needs to find out about this stream. What's up, Scarlet Dreams? Oh, snaps. If you don't mention your gender or anywhere, I can see it's difficult for me to know how to properly address you. New video tomorrow. Exactly. That's all it is. If you don't tell people that you're transgender, then how are we supposed to know your identity is that, you know? Like, here's the thing, how important that is. There was this stripper in Miami, okay? And this is serious. There was a stripper in Miami. She stripped. She looked amazing. The thing is, she's transgender, but she don't tell people that she's transgender. She stripped. She shake her booty. She had the surgery. Look amazing, right? Look beautiful. But she never told people that she used to be a man. She sleep over with these major people, these big people, like big artists and stuff. And if she don't get her way or she don't get the money, she exposed the person online saying they slept with a man and say that she used to be a man. So a lot of people in that hip hop community and everything, I'm not part of the hip hop community anymore because old school 80s, 90s, that's what I followed a lot throughout my years. And a lot of people was calling them out, even the women, because that was super predatory. And a lot of guys didn't know. So it kind of hurt them. And a lot of people was calling her out. So the fact that if you don't tell the person about who you are, then that's disingenuous and it could come out to being hurtful or being injured later in life. And if you tell people that you was a transgender woman, you're a transgender woman or a transgender man, then that whole entire drama will go out the window because they'll be like, thank you for telling me. Unfortunately, I'm not into that, but thank you for telling me. But when they find out later, they might act in reaction. So it's very key to let people know who you are before people go off on you. And is this going over to other things? I don't want, and that's pretty much it. I'm just going to go ahead and exile that, but we're going to go ahead and watch Klutzy King video. The idiot called me a transphobic for criticizing their Vampire Survivor video. Let's go ahead and start watching. Boop, boop. All right, I hope I got this.
Morning, everybody.
Okay, let me turn it up just a little bit in my headphone because I can't hear nothing. All right, so we're gonna start watching it.
How are y'all doing today? I was doing really great myself, but then you know what? My mood started to go downhill a little bit. And do you want to know why? It's because I discovered the horrible truth. I am transphobic. Oh my god.
Yeah, that's kind of sucks because a lot of people don't understand when you call somebody transphobic, that still hurt them because now it's look like they're like, you know, like a bad person. But for the people that came into the chat, if I cuss, let me know so I could take a shot of Jack Daniels because I'm training myself to get back to being a regular person.
God, you really cannot make this up. So anyway, remember how a week and a half ago or so, I criticized this one person's view or take on Vampire Survivors?
Now, this is what I like about Klutzy. He shift his self from calling the person he into this person because now he's respecting the person that made the video.
And they said it was predatory, they said there was nothing to do, all that, so I criticized it. And then just a couple days ago, I made a follow-up where they said they were leading a crusade against the game.
Yo, I swear I like Vampire Survivor so much. Yo, that soundtrack right there is freaking busting.
Which, by the way, I don't think they realized the Crusades actually failed, so that's a little funny if you ask me. But yeah, apparently I'm transphobic for criticizing this person's take on Vampire Survivors. You cannot make this up. Now, I don't know exactly how long this video is going to be. It's probably going to be pretty short, but I just wanted to start it off by reading this community post that this person put out. So let's go ahead and read it together, shall we? Sorry for all the laughing. This is just so ridiculous. I can't help it. So
All right, so we already read this what you call it, community post. So we're just going to fast forward it because I feel like he went over it. I mean, he's covering his what you call it, his basics. So Klutzy is actually a really good video. If you want, please sub to Klutzy. He's a really good what you call it, person that make content like this. If somebody want to put it in the chat, go for it, because I'm using OBS and I kind of like not used to using OBS, so
again, and then he just goes on to celebrate 500 subs and all that stuff. But oh my god, I cannot get over this. So because I said he in my title instead of they, you're not even gonna watch my video or take criticism from it. All right, cool, gotcha.
Exactly. So the fact that, and this is what I don't get, like when people, like, I'm not saying all transgender people do this, but the ones that like kind of want to shut people down or kind of want to like go after people, they don't want to watch the video as soon as they say here he instead of they. The whole easy thing about it is you could go to the comment section and say, hey, great video, but I identify as they. That's simple. Here, I'll show you how easy it is to do it. Great video. I want you to know that I'm, oops, a human being, and you can call me he or him. Oops. And then comment. It's that easy. Hello, great video. I want you to know that I'm a human being and you can call me he, him. Look at that. It's that simple. Pretty simple. Exactly that simple. So instead of you making a novel, you could just write down a pair of it, 2 sentences or 3. That's something that I don't understand, is why are you doing all of this extra stuff just because somebody misgender you? People misgender me all the time when I was younger, but I didn't get mad at that because I realized my voice sounded feminine because I was younger. I didn't mature into this sexy voice. So yeah, that's all it takes to be a human being. You don't have to go after somebody just because of their, just because they misgender you. Because we're all human beings and we need to be respectful for others. We're going to go ahead and continue. Sorry, I just want to refresh my chat real quick. Okay.
But let's analyze this post. So they start by saying that, oh, I've misgendered them, and that either means I'm transphobic or that I didn't bother to do the research on them. Well, here's the problem with that. And there's actually multiple. Number one, your gender has nothing to do with this whatsoever.
Exactly. It's just your ideas. We're not talking about your gender or who you are. We're just talking about your ideas. What we think you said wrong, and you took offense by calling somebody transphobic. That's just wrong.
I don't care how you identify. Identify however you want. You could identify as a cactus gurgling fart monster and I wouldn't care. The point of my video was not talking about your gender identity. It was talking about your bad take on vampire survivors. And the fact that you
Yeah, and there's a lot of people that did that. Is they talked to your ideas. They didn't misgender you. Well, apparently, I mean, they didn't mean to misgender you. They just talking about your ideas because you failed to put your identity in your bio. And please do not talk about the flag, because the flag could mean anything. There's people that support Ukraine. There's people that support Russia. There's people that support the Philippines. People is from the Philippines. People is from China. People got so many flags. I got a poster with the Razer logo. Does that mean, you know, I'm a Razer shield? Yes. Yes, I am a Razer shield. No, I'm not a shield. I just love Razer. But yes, there is stuff out there. I can't believe I said Razer shield. Oh no. Fanboy's about to get at me. But yes, there's people out there that really have flags that they support. So the flag doesn't mean nothing. Honestly, it doesn't mean your identity. People out there that have trans flags and they support the trans community and they're straight.
refuse to watch it just because I quote-unquote misgendered you in the title is absolutely ridiculous. Which, by the way, I did adjust the title, so now it says they.
He went out his way to even put down they instead of him. Meaning he don't disrespect people.
Instead of he, I hope your feelings aren't hurt anymore. But again, I have to question, what does this have to do with anything? If somebody made a video calling me out and they called me a she, I wouldn't care. Don't get me wrong, it would feel a little weird to me, but I'm not gonna let it upset me so much that I'm just not gonna watch the video and ignore any and all criticism from it.
We're gonna go to the Asmon Gold video after this because it's short, but yeah, like he said, if somebody misgender him and say she, he would not care. Like, remember, I used to work at McDonald's and people called me, oh, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, you sound good, can I get your number, mommy? Like, like, damn, you look good. Ooh, I said damn. I said, damn, my first drink. Whew. Wow. I always say this when I drink, make sure you're legal age and where you at. Make sure you're somewhere safe. Make sure you do it where, make sure you're at legal age. Make sure you're safe. Make sure you're somewhere where you don't have to go anywhere. And if you have a designated driver and you're out, please use that designated driver. If you gotta call an Uber, call Lyft, call a buddy. Make sure that you are safe when you drink. While there are people who who purposely misgender other is a spiteful way. Clussy is not like that. Exactly. So here's the thing. To be a good person, I'm not trying to tell people how to be a good person. This is just me talking about myself. For me being a good person, if I misgender somebody, if they tell me, hey, I go by he, him, I'd be like, okay, I apologize. I will adjust it to it. But if I keep on saying, well, she his and she that, and they get mad, then I'm the dick. I said dick. I don't want to drink that no more. That's hard. That's hard. That's hard. That's hard. That's hard. I gotta get better. Then I'm the prick. Prick. I'm cool with that. So I don't want to misgender anybody. And if I do, just let me know. And I do apologize. That's all it is.
But want to know what's especially hilarious about this whole thing? They say, oh,
And I'm a light drinker, so that's gonna hurt.
well, I didn't bother to do the proper research. So I decided, you know what, let me do the proper research. Let's go to their YouTube bio and let's see what their gender is so I don't screw this up in the future. And guess what
I'm so sorry, that Rainbow Road actually hits. I love that Rainbow Road. Oh man, I need to play that. Oh man, hold up, that's my jam. I love that Rainbow Road.
met with there? Absolutely nothing.
Yay, absolutely nothing. So yeah, woo.
Nowhere in your description on your YouTube channel do you mention your gender. So how am I supposed to know that? Even if I did.
Clussy. Okay. They want you to assume you don't have it here. They want you to assume because of the flag, even though if you support transgender people, you might have the flag up there. They want you to assume.
Absolutely nothing. Nowhere in your description on your YouTube channel do you mention your gender. So how am I supposed to know that? Even if I did go out of my way to look for your specific details so I don't mess anything up, I still would not be able to find it in your YouTube description.
Exactly. We would not know.
And again, even if I was able to find it here, I don't really care what your gender is. Your take was bad. That's all I care about. If I call you he in the title instead of they, that doesn't really change anything.
Fair. Your idea is not changed. Let me turn off the upper light real quick. Yay, that drink is hard. They mentioned having a flag in their profile, but how would we identify? Honestly, going to keep 100% real. Let's go to GG profile. Yeah, so if you look at the top, even at the top right here, if Clussy ever see this, even at the top, this right here is actually covering most of the flag, so we would not know if this was a transgender person, because like I said, before I say that, like I said, if you're legal age, please stay at the house to drink and make sure you're safe, because wow, that hit me really hard. Woo. So with this, even with this, it's kind of hard to tell, because this is covering most of the flag. I'm not talking about the like who art pieces like that. I know that's your art piece, do your thing, you know, but pretty much the art piece is not my type of art piece. But Yeah, I don't like the art piece, but that's still not the discussion. The discussion is we can't even see the flag. When I went to your page, I couldn't even see the flag until I mentioned the flag. And like I said, just because you're not transgender doesn't mean having the flag up there mean you're transgender. Maybe you support it. And speaking of, you know what's yeah, there go the banner. You know what's funny? A lot of people don't know this. Hold on. I swear, people call this the grinder flag. People call this the grinder flag. I'm like, how is this the grinder flag? And I heard somebody saying, do you speak German? And somebody say, oh, that's disrespectful for that. You gotta say Germex. What? German is actually a language. I was shocked about that. I was so shocked. I'm like, what are you talking about? German is a language. Please don't say German, say Germex. But there's a country called Germany. They speak German. Oh man. I love it. I love it. I love people not learning nothing in school. I really don't.
Take was still equally as bad. In fact, one of my good Discord pals in a group chat with me sent me your Twitter info, and over there I can see your pronoun related stuff. Problem with that is I don't have a Twitter, so how—
The thing is, why is people telling us to go to Twitter to look for a video of yours? If we find it on YouTube, we doing everything we can on YouTube. There's people out there that don't use Twitter. Like the people who got off because of Elon Musk. That's not going to stop me. Yeah, exactly. I'm sorry. The whole point of Clussy video had nothing to do with their gender, just their, I can't say it, crappy take. I don't want to say it because I don't want to drink this often today. Exactly. It's called going after your opinions of a game that really had a bad take. Going to be 100% real with you. And I'd rather be 100% real to you instead of lie to you.
how am I supposed to see that? And even if I did have a Twitter, you don't link it here, so how am I supposed to know to go—
Ooh, you sure don't link it. Oh, sorry. Yeah, you don't link your Twitter. You don't link your Twitter. You don't link your Twitter. Good call.
check it. And even if you did link it here, I am not under any obligation to go through all these different links to all your different social medias just to make sure I put the right pronoun in my title. If you want that information immediately available, then you better put it on the page I'm looking at, which is your YouTube page.
Agreed, because I don't think I put my stuff on my YouTube page at all. I need to start doing that. Thanks, Clussy. I really appreciate that.
Because, again, I don't have a Twitter. And even if I did, I'm not about to click through all of that just to figure out your pronouns. But just in case anybody out there for some reason does think that I am transphobic, trust me, I am not. I probably go to one of the most liberal colleges in all of the United States. Obviously, I'm not going to say where because I'm not trying to dox myself, but trust me. And here's another little piece of interesting information relating to my college life. When we first got here, the first few days were like orientation day for freshmen, right? And we were split up into different groups and we would meet every day and do stuff. My group had 4 leaders and 2 of them were trans, and I did not give a flying f. In fact, I thought they were the coolest of my leaders. And on top of that, just in case you want a little bit more proof.
Yep. Honestly, Clussy looked like he treat everybody like human beings. And that's respectful. You know, and that's why I try to, you know, let people know. Of course, if you look at me, I am black. Okay, yeah, I see. I got darker pigmentation than everybody. You know, I'm not cheering for that. I was born with a Muslim father and a Christian mom. So what do you expect? Yeah, I know, right? I'm atheist. Yeah, I'm just black. I don't care about my skin color because I'm going to treat other people like I want to be treated. I don't use my pigmentation to bully people or saying, "Oh, you called me race? I mean, you did you call me the N-word? I don't care. You know, is treat me like you'll treat everybody else. You know, if you want me to treat you bad, then so be it. But I'm not going to treat you differently like I want to be treated. Just because I'm black doesn't mean like, you know, I'm oppressed or anything like that. You know, I got a freaking $3,000 PC because I wanted to spend it. But yeah, it's whatever. I don't care.
Remember when I had that
Matter of fact, I feel more privileged than than anybody else, honestly.
5,000 sub giveaway at the end of December, and you could win either a PS5, a Series X or S, or a Steam Deck?
Oh yeah, I would try to win one of those. I'm not gonna lie. I would try to get that Steam Deck. Klutz, if you watch this, yeah, I was trying to win that Steam Deck, but I understand how giveaways work.
Yeah, well, fun fact, the winner of that competition identifies as they, them. I saw it in their Discord profile when I was accepting their friend invite. And guess what? I didn't care. I didn't take away the winnings from them because they were trans. I don't care.
Ooh, what's that person argue? What's GG argument now? Because Klutzy just say that he don't care who the person is. You want something, you want something. Just because there's trans doesn't mean it's going to stop them from giving away the item. So yeah, I agree. Congrats, Klutzy. Going to keep it real. I wish it was me, but I know how to give it a work. You know, was I a little salty? A little. But hey, congratulations to that person winning this Steam Deck. Dang, I got seat upside down. There we go. Ooh, coldness.
If I was transphobic, why would I give somebody who identifies as they, them a $700 Steam Deck? It
Agreed.
makes no sense. Speaking of things not making sense, if you're getting so much hate because of my video, then how come you didn't leave the comments on so people could see it? Are you really so soft that you can't handle having comments being turned off?
Dang, Klutzy said he's charming soft. I know I put words in his mouth real quick, but that's charming soft.
But yeah, anyway, that's really all I wanted to say, honestly. Sorry if it sounded like I was yelling a lot throughout this video. I mean, honestly, I was. But that's because this is just such an irresponsible and honestly really crappy thing to say. Accusing me of being a transphobe and hiding behind your gender identity because I criticized you is not cool. You can't just throw that accusation around lightly. Luckily, it didn't seem to have many consequences in this case. But accusations like that could legit ruin somebody's entire career.
Agreed. What he's speaking is facts. The fact that a lot of people will throw accusations like, "Oh, you're racist," it's actually hurt people trying to get jobs and stuff. And when you do that, like look at what happened with that one girl with limited games. And that's one thing I'm trying to figure out. Limited games bent over for another person who have a back history of going out for like younger people, and that person was a headquarter of BronyCon, which doesn't matter. You were still praying after kids and tried to cover yourself, but you want the person that worked there to be fired. Now limited games is on thin ice, like super thin ice, like Charmin toilet paper could break that ice. So yeah, it really will hurt. And honestly, limited game got what they deserve. You know, I mean, you want to fire somebody and everybody's saying they're not going to purchase your stuff. One person compared to millions. But that's it with Klutzy video. Let's go ahead and go to Asmongold. All right, so this is Asmongold video. Wait, okay, sorry. GG's left comments on his community post. Yeah, I know, but I don't want to like, I gotta look through it. Give me a second before we go to what you call it, because I'm like faded a little bit. That's why I say stay home and drink if you're legal age. Yeah, I could show it. I'm just trying to make sure that, yeah, I'm going to show it. Okay, cool. All right, give me a second. I'm about to show it. All right, we're gonna start with Jordan CS. No. Oh boy. Okay. There we go. Let me take off my headphones real quick. You didn't say anything remotely transphobic. What are they on? Fair. Well, that's a bit. That's a bit. Give me a second. Well, that's a bit misleading. I said this. I said in this post that you're either a transphobe or just too lazy to look into who I am. I want to say homie, but they're transgender. I should say Zamy. I'm trying to make this junk light. Zamy. He's not going to look on Twitter because he don't own Twitter. You putting up a flag doesn't mean that you're trans. It means it could be you're trans or you support the trans community. You don't think outside the box, and that's something I'm trying to figure out. I'm not sure which one you are. Frankly, I don't care. Well, you look like you care because you turned off your comments and you just went off on somebody who is not transphobic. So you epic failed. My channel banner have a transgender flag, a pride flag on it. And your point is, what's the point? Just because you have a trans flag, sorry, everybody. Just because you have a trans flag on your banner does not make you trans. You can support the community. Maybe you like the color. If I have a Filipino flag on my wall, does that make me Filipino? No. Maybe I like the Philippines. You know, maybe I went to the Philippines, which I'm going to go this year. I can't wait. It's going to be fun. Maybe when I go to the Philippines, I'm going to pick up a Filipino flag and put it on my wall because maybe I want to get a flag from the Philippines. Maybe I like the Philippines so much, I want to grab a flag and put it on my wall. You don't understand why people will get that. You don't understand. What? Just because I put the Philippine flag on a wall means I'm Filipino? No. People have the right to put on their banner whatever they want. Doesn't mean they're that. Maybe they support it. That's a dumb logic. I'm telling you right now, that's a dumb logic. I could do that right now, but I don't feel like it. One of the video on my channel is an interview I did that literally have my full name in the title. It's Heather. Whoa, Heather, that doesn't mean nothing. There's guys out there named Ashley. I promise you. Ashley is a man name back in the day. So you do have men named Ashley. Go by Ash. Ash Ketchum. I bet you his name was Ashley. Actually, damn, did I just go down a rabbit hole and I just said damn? I don't want to do this anymore. Yes. Well, give me 1 second real quick. Give me 1 second. Okay, I'm back. All right. Gotta take it because I got trained. Remember, be responsible. Yeah, just because your name is Ashley, yeah, Ashley was a man name, and they went and they just made it into a gender gender neutral name. Ashley used to be a man's name back in the day, and and women just start using it as well. So it's actually a both names. Um, Either they're trans or advocating for trans rights. Exactly. So they could be they could be allies to the trans community. That's all it is. A flag doesn't mean nothing. And then Ashley Ketchum. Exactly. So just because your name is Heather doesn't mean it's a girl's name. A guy could be named Heather. Anybody name could be Heather. Maybe they chose that name for a reason. So yes, your name could be Heather. Doesn't mean that. It doesn't mean that. What you call it? It's a what you call it? Should it be too difficult to put two and two together on that one? Really? Nah. Guys could be named Heather. It's possible. People could go for trans right. It's possible, but you don't think like that. But regard, I appreciate that you changed the title of your video, "Water Under the Bridge." You still didn't even watch the video. You still didn't watch the video. Whoa, okay, let's break this down. You made a video or videos on what you don't like a video game. He made a response video countering or correcting most of the issue you say you have with the game. You made a community post say that he's attacking you and you call him a transphobe because he didn't know that you are a trans person. Exactly. I don't get why people were saying that. I mean, I don't get why why they were saying that. GG. It doesn't make anything clear until you put in writing, "I'm a trans person," then people is going to misgender you. I mean, I know that sucks, but that's life. And even now you assault that he is possible still a transphobic because you feel like he's attacking your pronouns, which you never had them in your bio. Having a trans flag could be either male to female or female to male. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Again, you could have been female to male. You don't clarify anything like that. That's actually a really good point. None will keep your preferred use unless you yourself specify it. Don't go jumping to conclusion and verifying other because of personal feelings. Agreed. Oh, VR hell official. I love VR though. He's my dude. Brought a spotlight to something that wasn't even a part of the topic at hand. Oh well, more salt for the salt god. I'm not even there yet, so yeah. Exactly. Also, use a flag doesn't necessarily imply membership to a niche. Otherwise, you find many Ukraine, American, Argentina, and Palestinian flag flooded here by specifying over a cause or taste. And yes, some there are bad tastes. I said that we all agree. I can't agree with you that the transphobia is a real problem that need a reamp change in society to handle every aspect of well-being, but not make a witch hunt on microaggressions, which a gender issue doesn't exist. He had argued that you're not his equal, nor he had to argue that you're not his equal, nor state that you're inferior due to your gender, nor using slurs. Okay, so this what I try to tell people. I always treat other people like human beings. That's just it. So what it is we don't see you as lesser than us. That's impossible. You're a human being. You know, we're on the same level. Unless you want to talk about strength, then, you know, I want to be kind of cocky and I want to be like, I'm more stronger than you, because that's how I am. I've always been competitive. And I will never back down on a competitive thing. But there's always going to be good people and bad people in communities. The people that's good is going to be the ones that going to be like, hey, you did misgender me. I want you to use my correct pronouns. And it's fine that you misgender me. I just want to give you correct statement. That's good. But for people that say, oh, you misgender me, you're transphobic, that's bad. You don't want to call people transphobic because it's disrespectful to the person. Maybe they don't know, but you're not going to know. For assuming that somebody's going to be transphobic, that's kind of messed up on your part. I'm going to go ahead and move this out the way. We're going to go ahead and go to the Asmongold.
The guy.
Okay, let me get my headphones. We're going to watch this. It's only a 57 second clip. So I'm just going to let it play.
Who did the video on vampire survivors. You know, I've been very open about if I react to somebody's video and they don't like it or they don't want the video to be up, I will always take them down. And unfortunately, this person has invoked that. They asked me to take down the video, and because I always do it, I took it down. However, you are pathetic. I cannot even believe that you had the audacity to ask me to do that. The fact that you could criticize another fucking game for whatever reason you want, you are completely within your right to criticize it. But the moment that somebody criticizes your criticism, you want it shut down. If your video got very popular and everybody started harassing the person who made Vampire Survivors, and then the person who made Vampire Survivors goes and says, hey, please take your video down, I'm getting harassed, I wonder if that would have happened.
He's completely right. Again, Asmongold, he's a big YouTuber. He is going to do what he's going to do. That's just how it is. That's how he always been. And for him to respect other people for that, that's his thing. You know, I can't be mad about that. But he's right. For you to tell him to take it on his video, yeah. Yeah, you see how he didn't use your gender at all? Yep. Yeah. So we're going to go over your two videos. Okay. I start this early, but we aren't treating you. I said this earlier, but we aren't treating you any different because you're identified as another gender. We are mercilessly criticizing your opinion because it was an awful take. Asmongold is base church streamer. Hey, he got the views. He could be base, but he got it. He's getting paid for it, so I can't even be mad about it. You know what I'm saying? He could be base all he want. But I do agree with you. We're not treating him. We're not treating they different. We're not treating GG different. Is this when you have a bad take? You have a bad take. Now we're going to look at your videos, both of your videos, and I'm about to move on to Saltiest Gamer.
Back in January of 2021, I released a game.
I want to keep it real, and I want to keep it 100% real. All right, 100% real. GG, 100% real. You didn't put what you call it. You didn't put your gender on here. We don't know. But your voice is deep. Sound very manly. So if we don't know your gender and we heard this voice, we're going to assume that it's a dude. I'm keeping 100% real with you. 100. You don't have to like it. You don't have to agree with it. You sound 100% like a dude. Like I said, I was misgendered when I was a kid, but it didn't affect me. I want to keep it 100% that you sound like a dude. Even though you're transgender, I'm just keeping it a buck, keeping it real. I can see why people was misgender you because you sound straight up dudeish. Now there's females out there, I meant women out there that do have manly voice, and vice versa with the dudes. But I'm gonna keep 100% buck with you. If we was on the phone, I would assume that you was a dude. If I didn't know you, if you were calling me like for sales, you sound like a dude. Keeping 100% real with you, not disrespecting you. I'm just being real. I'd rather be honest than lying.
Called Endless Overdrive. It was a small project I developed over the course of about 2 months, an arcade title where you move across a grid playing field, shooting blocks and building combos. Very simple premise, but there are 2 catches here. The first of which is that moving and shooting are both automated. You can decide where you move, but not when, and you can only ever fire in the same direction that you're moving. Secondly, every time a block is shot, it gets frozen in place, restricting the amount of space you're able to maneuver through. This is why the combo system exists. Maintaining long enough combos changes the properties of your bullets, allowing you to clear the screen of any frozen blocks. If you ask me, making single-screen arcade games like this is basically the best starting point you can have as a game designer, because anybody can make this kind of game, but making one that actually holds people's attention is one hell of a challenge.
But yeah, you criticize Vampire Survivors. This is basically Vampire Survivors, but kind of whack. Even though your game probably came out before Vampire Survivors is actually a really fun game. It does the exact same game, same thing as your gameplay, and then some. I'm going to keep it a buck with you. Keeping it 100%. It doesn't look interesting. 2 months. Look kind of whack. It looked kind of base. To get the attention, you got to put more effort into it, man. I mean, ma'am, or they. I'm sorry. You got to put more into it. Keeping it 100% real with you. It's Vampire Survivors beta version. Going to keep it 100% real. Heather editing is decent. I actually enjoying their content. If I didn't find out they act hypocritical towards other people, fair enough. That's one thing I could tell. That's one thing I could say. The sounds better than anybody else. Honestly, that I watch. Editing looked pretty good. It's just it's kind of hard to kind of like you when you went after Klutzy King like you did. Going to keep it a buck with you. But yeah, this is basically Vampire Survivors without any. This looked like Atari. This looked like the Atari 2600 Vampire Survivors. Oh, what's up, Golden Apples? Yeah, keeping it a buck. It looked like Atari 2600 Vampire Survivors, and you only got like what 4 type of movement: up, down, left, right. Yeah.
When your mechanical scope is so minuscule, you seriously have to think through every design decision you make, maximizing the amount of overlap between each mechanic in order to squeeze out as much depth and nuanced interactions as you possibly can.
So what's different than Vampire Survivors? What is different than Vampire Survivors? Like, I don't see. The only thing I see difference is Vampire Survivors is actually fun. I play Vampire Survivors on this. Like, I use this D-pad all the time because it feels nice. And I can move around. I could use this if I want to, but as you can hear. Yeah. So what's the difference? Boy. Give me a second. Sorry, somebody text me.
Hopefully the end result will be like an elaborate Jenga tower, every block laid with such deliberation that to remove a single one would send the whole thing crashing down. Developing games like this, you really can't take anything for granted. For instance, in games that have combo systems in them, dropping a combo is almost always treated like a mistake, plain and simple. But when I was working on Endless Overdrive, putting in such a binary system as that completely destroyed the balance of the game. There needed to be some kind of benefit to dropping combos or else the game wouldn't work. So I introduced a second enemy type which traces the player's footsteps and gradually speeds up as the game progresses.
Okay. Like I said, is this like Vampire Survivors? That's something that I'm trying to figure out. The concept for the game looked interesting, but it's a bit based on education. Yeah, I agree. I agree. It looked base. You only got 4 ways to go. It it's too much looking like an Atari game. And I used to play Atari. I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell from different enemies. Like you only put arrows on it. Score is pretty good. I don't get that engagement like what Vampire Survivors would have done. Vampire Survivors did it perfectly. Going to be real with you. I don't know. I feel like I might not get that much joy from this game. I'll probably be done with it after like what 5 minutes of playing. Yeah, 5 minutes of playing, I'll probably be done with it.
And the only way to get it to slow back down is to drop a combo. When you mesh mechanics together like this, ensuring that each one has its own set of pros and cons, what you get is a system where you need to think ahead of yourself, plan for the future because every action you take will have a ripple effect on every other action. That's depth, that's decision making, the beating heart of gameplay. A system that lacks ambiguity, where every choice can be boiled down to clear right or wrong, can hardly.
If he didn't, I'm sorry. If they didn't explain this, it'll be tough. Like really, really tough to figure out what it is. It's like I don't know if you remember this game, but Indiana Jones on the Atari 2600. There was if you didn't have the instructions, this will be hard to figure out what to do on because there was no internet back then. You got to keep the instruction book and stuff because you have to read it. But you like I would never know what to do if you never explained it. I'm going to be 100% real.
Be considered a game at all. This is why I find the explosive success of Vampire Survivors so concerning. The first time I played it, I was really struck by how much it reminded me of Endless Overdrive. Both games have automated attacks and swarms of enemies that come at you from all sides of the screen with simplistic movement. But these surface-level similarities only highlighted for me that the design philosophies underlying the games could not be more opposed. I have never in my life played something so hostile to the concept of depth and decision-making as Vampire Survivors.
There is decision making in Vampire Survivors. You got to know what kind of weapon you got to get. You got to make sure that, you'll get like shields, so you can protect yourself from enemies. Your game is based off of combos. This game is based off of combos. Your game is based off of combos and trying to put in a brand new enemy. This game got not only that, but it also got like getting brand new characters. It goes into more depth than what your game do. If I gotta compare your game and Vampire Survivors, I'm gonna say your game is like 10% of what Vampire Survivors done. Like if I could compare it in real life, like this is real life, but if I had to compare it to it, this is actually perfect. It's a jump from Atari 2600 to a Nintendo Entertainment System because this is still in the same logic. The Atari game is based off of just staying in one place. Here, you get to move around. You get to get collectibles. You get brand new enemies. You get brand new characters. You get so much in this game, and this game doesn't take that much. It could run on anything. And the fact that you got yourself the Atari game where you only stuck on one screen. This one, you got more movability. I'll say this is pretty much an open world game.
If you were a designer that actually cared about new
No. Snake is way better than his game. With snakes, when you get something, your snake get longer. You have to avoid your tail. Snake is way better than his game. Snake is more simple and a lot funner.
Nuanced, multifaceted game mechanics, you would not make a single choice that this game makes. The most obvious way to show this would be the enemy design, the thing that even people who like the game complain about. Every enemy here does the same thing. They walk towards you. Some do.
No, they don't. They fly towards you. Those bats fly and they don't walk to you. There's a level that I got off. I bet that I just got. I haven't completed the game 100% because I'm having fun with it. That you going against a whole bunch of flowers and they're not moving. So you got characters that move. I mean, enemies that move, and you got enemies that don't move. You can't sit there and say, "Oh, they move." It sounds like you didn't play the full game.
Do this a little bit faster, some do it while having slightly more health, but that's it. Did you expect that skeletons carrying different weapons would attack you in different ways, or attack you at all? Nope, they just apathetically limp at you, same as all the rest.
And yet you had to put in a brand new enemy to try to change the gameplay. With them, they really don't have to put in brand new enemies because they could reuse the sprites that they have on there. It'd still be more fun in the game.
With only a few incredibly infrequent exceptions, that is the most you're getting out of this enemy roster. Since there's no meaningful differentiation between enemy types, there's also no reason to ever prioritize killing certain enemies over others, and considering that the majority of the levels are endless fields devoid of level hazards or geometry, there's no positional aspect to combat either. Walking away from an enemy before it can touch you is the full extent of the combat depth you can.
I want to keep it real. The only reason why I walk away from enemies is because my stuff is not as strong as possible. I try to kill units without getting hit. So the fact that you can't realize that you need to escape from enemies because you're not that strong enough to kill those enemies is a key strategy. You don't want to really die because you built up for so much. And that's one thing you're not getting because I'm looking at your gameplay. You're not that far into the game. I think I'm more farther than you. And I don't know how much I put in. Let me see how much I put in. Let me see Steam. Okay, library. Vampire Survivors. Dang, I put in 27 hours. And I put in 28 hours. I'm not even finished with the game. I just barely getting through.
You can expect from Vampire Survivors. This strategy does not change or evolve in any way across a playthrough. Top to bottom, it's as bare bones in one note as a combat system can feasibly be. The real draw to the game then is its progression system. Killing enemies awards you with EXP gems, granting you new weapons and abilities with each level up. Hypothetically, this adds some actual meat to the game.
Yeah, because you gotta level up. That's their whole thing. They made it so fun where you could level up, and the game is like what? Less than $5? With no microtransaction? Woo! Perfect game.
Allowing you to come up with highly personalized builds for your characters. In practice, it's essentially meaningless, as the upgrades you're allowed to choose from are randomized every time you level up.
Like, right here, this is where you get most of the gems. Wait. Are you at level 19 at 11 minutes? How do you not get to... Yo, you're supposed to be higher than 19 at 11. I'm not saying I won't... I know I'm not that greatest player in Vampire Survivor, but I get to like at least level 23 somewhat. I know people get higher, but you're level 19 at 11 minutes. That's kind of pathetic.
And each weapon is already poorly differentiated to begin with.
Did you level up your garlic so you could kill these units as fast as possible? They're weak.
Since they're all passive and almost
Please tell me you're about to get the spinach. Please tell me you're about to get the Popeye spinach.
never have unique attack properties, you're only
Right now, I'm working on a procedure generation system where it lays out the level enemies are recognized for. Oh, really? Yo, that's dope. This dude did not get the spinach. He didn't get the Popeye spinach.
choosing weapons based on their range and damage output. To the game's credit, there is a small sliver of strategizing here, as it's important to choose weapons that cover different ranges, but that's hardly enough of a choice to build an entire combat system around. The problem is that the fundamental actions of movement and attacking lack any real depth. As a result, despite the fact that you can build characters with wildly varying loadouts, those choices have no effect on your playstyle. Regardless of whether you're controlling a damage tank or a glass cannon, a slow-moving death machine or a quick-footed wimp,
You're supposed to kill all those skeletons. You're supposed to kill all those skeletons.
the way you view and approach combat.
You are trash at Vampire Survivors. What's up, that PlayStation gamer? What's up, Robo Play? I'm doing great. Yo, why is this dude trash at Vampire Survivors? Please tell me y'all play Vampire Survivors. Hit that one for me.
Encounters is identical. If you see an enemy, walk into them until they die, but if they're going to walk into you first, run away. This is not combat design, this is nothing. It's also probably not a surprise to any of you. Even looking through positive reviews of the game, basically everyone concedes that the mechanics are completely vapid. The real secret to its addictive gameplay is the power trip of it all.
This dude don't know anything about Vampire Survivors. I thought you were supposed to be a game dev, but yet you crap it on a company that actually doing a pretty good job of playing the game. Whoa, you reach level 100? What? Ah, dang, that PlayStation gamer. Yo, that's funny. Dang, go to Apples, you're actually pretty swole.
Getting to watch numbers go up, an increasing swarm of enemies being obliterated by a barrage of bullets growing in equal measure. It's reasonably satisfying, and there's nothing wrong with the game making you feel good for playing well.
Yeah, because you said yourself, you got to make the game interesting. That's what they did. You're just salty because you can't get it. Yeah, I keep on forgetting. I need to call this person GG. I keep on forgetting. Yo, GG, you got to get better, man. Yo, just get better. I keep on forgetting I'm watching GG. You have to get better. You have to get better at this game because you are trashing on a dev that did a pretty good job. As a person who's supposed to support devs, you're pretty salty.
Well, my problem though is that playing well has virtually nothing to do with your knowledge of the game systems or decision-making ability, and everything to do with the amount of time you've sunk into the game. As I've discussed, combat being as shallow as it is means that there's no skills you can feasibly improve at as a player. The way you play...
Alright, GG, let me show you something real quick. Alright, let me show you something. I might watch me play some Vampire Survivors. Yeah, it's not going to take me that long. So, check this out. GG. Oh, yeah, let me go back. You see this? This is called Power Up. Every time you go into the game, you got Power Up. You got so many that you get that hold on. You got so much that you can get when you get coins. You get these power ups. I just got one more that I have to work on. And to show you something, we got this thing called, I still gotta play, where you fell at this. Are these units moving around? I mean, they moving in place, but and then you just skip that. And then you just skip that. And that's it. Option, quit. And I'm just showing you, all you gotta do is level up and skip the units. That's all it is.
Play the game 20 hours in is exactly the same way you were playing 10
As dev myself, I'm happy for the success of the game. I gave my hope in industry, and I'm just happy for people who made it general. Yeah.
minutes in. The only avenue for improvement is spending hours grinding money so you can buy permanent stat upgrades and extra characters. This is why I consider the game to be predatory and honestly morally reprehensible. As
It's not predatory. You just suck. Because you can't evolve the spinach. You got luck. You can get more of this so you can level up faster. You can get this for defense. You don't have anything that could protect you from other stuff. Like the axe is okay and the knife is okay, but you need to level up more stuff.
a game designer, you have a responsibility to not
His game does bad, and well, GG game does bad and GG jealous of Vampire Survivor success. I agree, but GG is transgender and we gotta stop using he is they, but I'm just gonna say GG.
not waste people's fucking time to build games which actually engage players mentally, testing their ability to adapt to new situations and solve problems. A game that ropes you into devoting hours of your life to it in return for nothing but completely unearned hits of dopamine is malicious and evil.
And what's your game about? It does the same thing. So technically you're talking crap about your game too. Because I'm not getting rewarded. I'm not getting anything out of it. So what's the difference between your game and Vampire Survivors? Vampire Survivors is a lot more funner. I'm sounding like a PlayStation fanboy. Sorry.
Even if you're of the belief that this game isn't technically predatory because it lacks microtransactions, you at the very least have to admit that this style of game design is wide open to exploitation.
I'm not spending any money except buying a game. So how is that predatory?
It's only a matter of time before some AAA company copies Vampire Survivors verbatim, only with even more addictive gameplay slathered in microtransactions.
Yes, that will sucks for the microtransaction, but as far as Vampire Survivors started this, it's actually beautiful. You even got games on cell phones that does the same thing, and it's actually pretty fun.
Game design is the art of decision-making, presenting players with a complex evolving knot to untangle, problems which force you to think beyond the present moment and consider what consequences might happen in the future. But Vampire Survivors has it completely backwards.
You could have killed the big mantis to get a chest.
This is a game only concerned with the past, an entire system whose sole purpose is to highlight the mild satisfaction of
Exactly. I'm not the only one. I am not the only one. So what's going by voice did not know GG trans exactly. And that's one thing we try to tell the person. We don't know that you're trans because you don't put it in your bio. And in your bio, you got a flag, but people can put the flag to support. You need to let people know that you're trans. That is on you. That is not on us. That is on you. We're not going to look you up. We're going to look for this video that we did on YouTube, and that's it.
realizing that your stats are bigger than they were 5 minutes ago, that you're killing more enemies than you were 5 minutes ago. There is nothing beyond that. There is no future in
Did you not kill the mantis? Boy.
Vampire Survivors. The fact that the project has already been successful enough to have spawned imitators makes me feel embarrassed to believe in video games. This is artistically worthless dreck that displays a stunning lack of imagination and curiosity for game design as an art form.
Your game is Atari 2600.
You might think I'm jumping the gun, being mean to a game that's still in early access.
I can't tell you're trans though through a voice. Exactly. It is not our responsibility to figure out that you are trans. You had to let us know that you're trans. Trust me, that PlayStation gamer, if you saw it from the beginning, you'll see.
However, I sincerely believe that the only way this game could be meaningfully improved would be to completely rework the mechanics from a fundamental level, and that is not going to happen.
Let me see something. To me, this person sound like a preteen male. Fair. I'm all in for exclusivity within the community, but what I don't appreciate is GG Melissa repeat the situation to make it sounds like Clussy went out of his way to attack his their sexuality. Exactly. But what you call it? GG. It sold at least 2.5 million copies. That's funny. 2.5 million copies for an indie dev. That's actually pretty impressive. Oh, wrong video.
Vampire Survivors will never have more depth, because these mechanics were not built to be deep
Yeah,
in the
bad
first
take is
place.
bad take. Well,
it cannot become more interesting. It can only become more...
A bad take is a bad take. It doesn't matter what your gender is. Exactly. I know my laugh is chilling. Prove you wrong, GG.
More weapons, more items, more stages, more enemies, none of which address the fact that the core of this game is a vacuous nothing where the concepts of decision-making and thoughtful play...
Finally, did you actually kill the what you call it?
Rework the mechanics from a fundamental level, and that is not going to happen. Vampire Survivors will never
Okay,
have
so you
more
did
depth,
kill the
because these mechanics were not
what you call
built
it?
to be deep in the first place. It cannot become more interesting.
The praying
It
mantis.
can only become more. More weapons, more items, more stages, more
GG
enemies,
game over,
none
exactly.
of which address the fact that the core of this game is a vacuous nothing where the concepts of decision-making and thoughtful play go to die. And so what we're left with is an ever-expanding turd, continuously polished
you're
to the
dead.
delight of a captive audience. And if that's the future of
You're
video
dead.
games, I don't want to be a part of it.
That's it with the first one. Here go the second one. Yeah, even Golden Apple saw that, GG.
The following is an addendum to my previous video.
Wait, hold up. Comments are off. Congratulations.
Vampire Survivors. Please watch that one before continuing here. If there's one video I've made I never expected to see any pushback from, it was my piece on Vampire Survivors. I'll readily admit that I'm not...
Okay, so you got the shield. Good. You got the garlic. Golden. Everything else I probably will not get. The orb, the defense. Okay, fair enough, but I probably will never get the rest of the stuff. I'll probably get something else.
Not satisfied with how that video came out. I don't believe that it's up to the...
Their review are more tolerable than Quantum, but this isn't much of a compliment. Exactly. Never ending poop. That's GG channel. Exactly.
the standard of depth and clarity that I always try to reach on this channel. I rushed the writing process for a number of reasons.
You could have got the fire thing, but you didn't.
The main one being, I believed the game was so self-evidently worthless that I didn't have to explain myself as much as I usually do. While the overall reception was positive, it was one of the only videos I've made which
Positive?
reached outside the bubble of my usual audience, and so there was inevitably a handful of misunderstandings and disagreements I'd like to respond to. There's also some additional details
Why
about the
didn't
game
get the
I'd like to
tune?
discuss that I wasn't aware of when writing my initial video. The way I see it, there are two main arguments against my stance on this game, neither of which hold much water. The first is that Vampire Survivors actually involves strategic skill and gameplay depth. Now, what exactly about this game is supposed to be deep, I'm not sure. No one's been able to tell me yet. My best guess is people are referring to the character building system, but as I said in my prior video, the large number of build options doesn't create meaningful decision making, since the options you have available are decided randomly, and player control is so limited that what choices you do make have no real effect on your playstyle. Furthermore, the entire point of the progression system is to remove skill and decision making from the equation. It's actually mathematically impossible to beat the game on a fresh save file. Your base stats are simply not big enough to outpace your enemy's growth.
What? Never. That's so true at Wizard Gamer. Oh man, look, GG. You get money to pay for the upgrades before you clock in. There you go.
Despite a complete run of the game only taking half an hour, you are forced to grind item unlocks and permanent stat upgrades for several hours before you're even allowed.
Half an hour. Don't do it. Don't do it. That PlayStation Gamer, or this person might call you transphobe because you hate their ideas.
Allowed to win. So if Vampire Survivors is intended to be a game of skill, it's not a very good one, is it? And this leads me to the second main argument. More commonly, I've heard people defend the game as a sort of turn your brain off action game that's nothing more than a fun way to relax and...
Turn your brain off? I mean, I guess, but honestly, my brain is not turned off. I just listen to other YouTubers, but I still play.
Wind down while listening to podcasts or whatever. The YouTube channel Video Games Are Bad recently discussed this directly in a video titled Contextualizing Play, which described Vampire Survivors as a tranquil game. Now, I have no problem with games that exist to relax a player rather than challenge them, and I think there's a tremendous amount of value in frivolous, unstructured play, as I've discussed in my video on Katamari Damacy. However, I flat out refuse to believe that Vampire Survivors is one of these tranquil games. To explain why, we need to look into the man behind the game.
My trans. Your game is basically Vampire Survivor Light.
An interview with The Verge that I've linked in the description below.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong, that PlayStation Gamer. I give you that. And yeah, it'll be a hate crime. But you're not wrong, PlayStation Gamer. And Roleplay, you're right. I play Elder Ring to turn my brain off. Exactly.
Below explains that Luca Galante, Vampire Survivors creator, previously worked in the gambling industry, and as Luca explains, the game was specifically made using the techniques and practices he learned while working on slot machines. This is the
Okay. At least he didn't put no in it. Loot boxes or microtransaction, then that would be predatory. But this is like a less than $5 game with downloadable content that doesn't cost that much.
Most damning thing anyone could ever say about their game, and yet in this interview it is treated as an unquestioned good. Just another reason that Vampire Survivors is such an exciting and fresh indie hit. This is not a game that exists to help you wind down. It exists to hook you. It wants dozens of hours of your life, not just the minutes you spend catching your breath.
You still didn't upgrade the garlic so you could kill those... skeleton?
On a lunch break. Purposefully indistinguishable from gambling.
You don't even have the spinach. Those skeletons are supposed to die in one hit of the garlic.
Design. It relies on random chance to produce outcomes while retaining just enough skill in its game.
I informed Sendo about those, so I stay here. GG have several Vampire Survivor hate videos that wiped their channel before. Yeah, he did. Mr. Gamer did tell me about that. that game would stress me out.
Play to trick your brain into thinking that your successes and failures are your own.
Okay, GG. Here go a tip that I usually do. I get the garlic and I get the spinach. 2 food items that will work perfectly together.
It operates on the same kind of loop which Natasha Dow Scholl describes in her book Addiction by Design, where she explains how gambling addicts typically aren't playing to win, but instead playing to reach a zen-like zone state, where the whole world falls away from them. The repetition found within devices like slot machines is one of the primary factors which sends players into this state, forming habits and then later addictions. Slot machine designers, of course, have become extremely good at exploiting that for profit. It reminds me of one of my biggest bugbears within games criticism, the term gameplay loop. I despise it as a term, and I despise it even more as a concept, because
But there's no gameplay loop in this. It's always going to be different enemies. Yeah, they kind of reuse them over and over again, but you're not going back to playing the same enemies unless you restart the game. I played The Last of Us to relax.
even though game actions can always be boiled down into repetitive loops, good games, like say Resident Evil 4, strive to include variation within their mechanics and situations to continuously shock the player out of the loop, to keep them on their...
I want to keep it real, and people might hate me on this, but I never liked Resident Evil 4. I'm going to be that serious. I never liked Resident Evil 4. I was so used to the tank control. So y'all can hate me on that if you want, but hey, whatever. It was only $2.39 when was great for all newcomers. Exactly. And it's free on phones, so boom, there you go.
Their toes and prevent repetitive looping habits from forming, but coming at game development with the idea that strict adherence to a loop is something admirable results in projects like Vampire Survivors.
Why you telling on yourself, GG? Because your game is a loop too.
Where gameplay can truly be boiled down into a single loop, every run the same as the last, hours upon hours, bleeding together in a brain fog of nothing. You've reached that zone. You're not winning, you're not thinking, but hey, at least you're passing the time. So whenever you hear the words gameplay loop, I want you to replace it in your mind with the words compulsion loop, because that's ultimately what games like this are.
I want to keep it real. Before I go to work, I actually play Vampire Survivor. I turn on my PC and I just start playing it before I go to work. It's actually a game where I could just get a quick fix and be done with it.
Systems crafted not to develop skills or ideas or narratives, but compulsions, stringing players along until they feel they have no choice but to keep playing again and again and again and again. As game designers, we have a responsibility to prevent malicious habits and addictions whenever possible, so slot machine design, as well as the people like Luca who openly brag about using it.
So here's the thing that I want to say. This game does not make me want to play the lottery. $1 billion make me want to play a lottery. So it's not this that make me want to gamble. This game does not make me want to gamble. I just played the game. $1 billion make me want to gamble, but I don't. I played the lottery for a couple of days because that was $1 billion. You can now play Vampire Survivors on your phone. Exactly. Scarlet Dreams. Exactly.
Should have no place in the games industry, and the reporters who spread his drivel without questioning his background or intentions in any way should feel ashamed of themselves. Claiming that Vampire Survivors is harmless fun, knowingly or unknowingly, is playing defense for the exact same kinds of practices that casinos are built on. It speaks to a blind spot gamers have, where because we get addicted to a game, it must therefore be good and well designed, and we seek out excuses to justify.
I swear, GG, Vampire Survivors do not make me want to play the lottery. $1.6 billion make me want to play the lottery. $500 million make me want to play the lottery. It's not addiction, but if I have a chance to play some numbers and win the lottery, I will do that. You know how much that money is? But this game does not make me want to play. It doesn't. So it's not just that. You're not losing any money. You only lost like what? Less than $5? So what? Exactly. It's pure fun, Scarlet. But this person does not understand that. So buy my game, not Vampire Survivors. That exactly. And this is what I said. So that PlayStation gamer, his game is Atari 2600. Is Vampire Survivor? I mean, I'm sorry. They game is Vampire Survivor Lite, Atari 2600. Right?
Justify the addiction
Yo, swear, if I ever win the lottery, I promise you I'm chilling, like retirement.
to ourselves. There's been a worry
Probably travel around the world, probably stay somewhere else, and let that money spread a lot farther. That's my goal.
lack of pushback towards the game, even from the people I normally would have expected to be speaking out against it. James Stephanie Sterling, for instance, is someone who has built their career campaigning against this exact strain of game design within the AAA industry, and yet here they are, sitting in Vampire Survivors' credits list as a writer for the project.
Because they're not microtransactioning us. It's a game where you put less than $5 into it and you get to play as many times you want without putting any more money into it. Right, exactly, golden apples. So this is the part that here's the thing, Gigi. What we complaining about is the AAA company keep on doing microtransaction loot boxes, paying for games that is not 100% complete. This game right here is 100% complete. Yeah, there's some downloadable content later because they want to give you more content, but you get to pay one price to play this game as many times as you want on PC, or you don't have to pay nothing on the phone. And the phone one is legit. In order to revive, you can watch credits. If you don't want to watch credits, then start over. There's not forced ads on there. So guess what? It's simply a good game.
What people like Sterling have shown is that even the most ardent opponents of manipulative design practices will not only turn a blind eye towards them, but actively celebrate them as long as no microtransactions are present. It is a phenomenally short-sighted viewpoint and has completely shattered my trust that anyone claiming to be an expert in this field actually cares about the well-being of games and the people who play them.
I don't have to put more money into it unless it's their downloadable content. What microtransactions?
And of course there are bigger fish to fry than Vampire Survivors. There are games that are more evil, more predatory, more manipulative, but my goal in crusading against this game is to remind everyone that it is not enough to just reject the monetization aspects of slot machine design. Art which serves no broader societal function than to cultivate habits and addictions should be shunned in whatever form it takes.
But I'm not putting money into it. The only money I put into it is buying the game on PC and buying the downloadable content. What what money am I putting more into it? I don't understand. Does it got the same idea as microtransaction but without microtransaction? Yeah, I guess. But I'm not putting more money into it. I'm not gambling it. And it doesn't make me want to go over to win play the casino. Like I said, Vampire Survivors does not make me want to play the lottery. $1.6 billion make me want to play the lottery. What GG was changed from there. Does anybody know what GG was charging for the game? I don't know. Give me a second. Let me see something. Copy. Give me a second. Paste.
Power trip.
Endless Overdrive. Endless Overdrive by View Prime. Endless Overdrive. This game soundtrack comes from WSD Space. I'm sure. Okay, you got Dplay. Download now. Name your own price. Okay, so the game is free, but you could support. I'm not playing it. I'm not playing it.
And that includes Vampire Survivors.
Okay, that's it with that video. I'm going to get off because that's it with that. But we're going to have to watch Saltiest Gamer. And if you want to know, you know what? I'm going to close this. Give me a second. Twitter. Twitter. Saltiest Gamer. I know I gotta fix this because I've been saying the wrong thing, but Salt King got me blocked like a little pansy. Saltiest Gamer got me blocked like a little pansy. Like a little pansy. And you know what? Copy. Hey, doing a video, Saltiest Gamer. Home. I'm about to go ahead. Oh, sorry. That popped up. My bad. No. Sorry about that, everybody. Did not know that popped up. But let's go ahead and watch this.
Console peasants! Living in the Dark Ages, never to experience the beauty.
I want to skip all that. Screw that. If you don't know who Saltiest Gamer is, he don't know nothing about PCs. And since he got me blocked, I'm about to destroy him. Because he don't know nothing about PCs and he don't do any research. So let's go ahead and destroy this cat. Check my notifications. Doop. Hope YouTube don't take that down. But hey.
What's up, PlayStation Nation? Welcome to another Saltiest PlayStation News
That game looked mid.
report. You guys are doing fantastic. Before the PlayStation 5 launched, Mark Cerny did a deep dive into the console, what was specifically in.
Okay. If this is you know what's funny? For how much crap did Saltiest Gamer give to the PC community, he don't realize that's a PC that Sony made. So I don't know what he understand about that.
Inside it, and
He's a Sony fanboy, and that's coming from that PlayStation Gamer. Exactly. We're about to destroy him. I think you need to do a video on him, that PlayStation Gamer.
the specs. And if you're wondering, the haters were out in force before the console even launched, specifically on the Xbox and PC side.
And you know what? I think when people look at Forspoken, any PlayStation players, I know that PlayStation Gamer, how do you feel about the game being at 24 frames a second at 720p on a PlayStation 5? Please let us know. But this is just cutscenes, and I think a lot of PlayStation fanboys just love cutscenes.
When you ask yourself what is inside the PlayStation 5,
Yeah, I'm not buying for a Forspoken game. Look meh at best. I agree. I'm not buying it for PC.
that makes it special, well, the price, number one, is $400. You cannot find any equivalents on the market for PC, because when you
So here's the thing that I am. What's up, Hazen? Forspoken look mid anyways. So here's the thing. All right. So this is where I think Saltiest Gamer do. He don't realize that he got a whole entire world that watch him. So he being disingenuine. So yes, in the States, the PlayStation discless version is $400. But what he failed to tell people is if you get the diskless version, that means you have to download all their games off the PlayStation Network from onto your hard drive. I mean, onto your SD card. I mean, on your storage. So meaning you only have one price. The price is not going to change unless they force it to change. That's why with PC, you exactly 720p at 30 frames a second, WTF, and me back in the PlayStation, or me back in the PlayStation 4. Yeah, the Xbox Series X, even 3 years later, it still beats the PlayStation 5 in performance. Exactly. That game is mess. Exactly. So you don't have multiple stores on the PlayStation Network, so you have to buy the games off the PlayStation Network unless you can find a code. So not only that, you don't get discounts on the game unless PlayStation tell you to. You can't buy any disc. You have to, and not only that, he don't think about the whole entire world. The whole entire world, the PlayStation 5 went up in price. And not only that, here in America, it's hard to find a PlayStation 5 with no extra games. So technically, here in America, it costs $550, $560. Yes, still cheap, but at the same time, he don't tell you about you have to pay for services. You gotta do so much, so the price is going to increase. Just because you buy the PlayStation doesn't mean you can't buy the other stuff, because in order to get the full experience, you gotta pay per month or per year and all that stuff. So he failed to let people know. Compared to a PC, if I go to the store and buy a $500 piece gaming PC, I don't have to pay for it online. It also look bland when you compare it to all other games coming out this year. Exactly. Returnal on PC, which I want to get because Returnal looked fun. Returnal on PC looked better than Forspoken. And Returnal was playing, what, 1080p, upgraded to 4K on on the PlayStation 5, and it was having problems with it too. Only games I buy day one are PlayStation first party games, and only the ones I want. I don't care for that, for example. Okay, fair enough.
You build a PC or you buy one pre-made, you have to get all kinds of parts. It's just very costly to be a PC game.
Whoa, 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 whoa. You're not gonna get away with that, Saltiest Gamer. Just like I said, when you buy the PlayStation 4, you say 400, so we know it's a diskless version. You have to buy the game online. You have to update it. Oh, well, guess what? I don't have a TV. I gotta buy a TV. There's so much stuff that you're misinforming a lot of people, and I hate that. You're not going to sit here and get away. Well, I got a TV. I got a TV to connect my PC to. Oh, you got to get the game. So if they go to the store and buy the game, and they got the $400 one, guess what? They can't buy the game because they don't have a disc. So I return it to the store and get a code, or just get the money back. And guess what? Some of the people that buy the game, imagine if they open it and try to put it in there. Yeah, there's incidents. So now you gotta take the game back. Now you gotta get a card, and you gotta get another card to buy other stuff. You're not gonna get away and say, oh, you could just plug and play it. There's a Give me 1 second. Sorry, I thought I was gonna sneeze. There's a TV, you have to pay for it. You have to pay for it. Exactly. If you want to crisp 4K resolution, you also need to pay for a online subscription if you want to play those games online. Exactly. So you're not going to sit there and say, oh, well, I got a TV already. Well, we got TV to play our PC games. You're not going to sit there and cross that out the line. And plus, if you buy a pre-built, it comes with a keyboard and a mouse. Sometimes a monitor.
Gamer, but PlayStation 5's rocking a CPU with 3.5 gig.
Okay. $499 standard. $399 digital. See, you want to sit there and say it's $400 for $400, but yet you show two prices. CPU 3.5 gigahertz, 8 core AMD Zen 2. Actually, that's not bad. This is 8 cores, 10.3 teraflop RDNA 2 GPU, 16 gigabytes of RAM, custom 825 gigabyte. They only give you a terabyte of storage. And NVMe expansion, okay. Disk drive, not for the digital edition, 4K Blu-ray, and then it's pretty big for low specs. Congratulations.
Gigahertz 8 core AMD Zen 2. You guys are around a year plus
Key thing, keep it up there so people can read instead of pausing it.
ago, year and a half ago. The big talk was RDNA 2.0, true RDNA. Oh, the PlayStation 5 doesn't have full RDNA 2. Oh, guess what the other narrative was? The GPU, right? The GPU 10.3 teraflops RDNA 2. And guess who was talking about that? That was the Xbox side.
Nope, I refuse to believe that. You can't just buy a PlayStation 5 and think that that's it. Imagine getting a PlayStation 5 and you don't have a TV. Exactly. So here's the thing, Saltiest Gamer, you're not going to get away with that. When the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X came out, y'all was talking about specs. What's better? What's better? Oh, there's teraflops here. Oh, Xbox got better teraflops. Oh, this, that. Oh, we got an SD NVMe. Nah, y'all do talk about specs, even though y'all don't know nothing about specs. And then when the PC people come in, y'all just want to say, well, y'all don't know nothing about it. It's a console. Please, get out of here, B. You're not going to get away with that.
Because, of course, they use that teraflop as a measure of something when it doesn't really mean much in the grand.
Actually, teraflops actually does mean something. I'm going to be dead serious with you. There's certain programs that use the teraflop of certain graphic cards. Blender, I think, I can't think of them all, but is how fast that the numbers could run through a program, if I'm not mistaken. I'm still studying on teraflops. I don't know 100% about it, but I know it's supposed to be the higher the teraflops, the faster the numbers will go to graphics, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, but I got to do a little bit more research, so hold me to that. But yes, teraflops does mean something in certain things, not just for gaming, but for other stuff.
Grand scheme of things, they have 12, we have 10. The RAM, 16 gigabytes of GDDR6 storage is where it's at with that custom SSD 825.
Don't even give you a full terabyte. That's sad.
So Salty, what's the point? Well, we're about to talk about it, okay? Because it's very interesting when it comes to these PCMR guys, because they like to insert themselves.
You better not disrespect the PCMR women too. We got women and we got guys, so it's not just guys, it's women. We more diverse. When you add it all up, it's get really expensive, and that's before you even buy your games. Oh, and they want to get PSVR 2. I forgot about that.
Pause into the console war discussion. Now, let's put a little caveat or note into the whole discussion. This is all for jokes. You take the console wars.
Stop the cap, because you're one of the biggest fanboys of all time. I remember that one dude destroyed you and called you a fanboy, and you got salty. And you say, you don't even play Xbox. Well, you don't play PC, so what that say about you? His PlayStation 5 can generate AI art and picture. Can't render in DayZ 3D Blender or Unity. The PlayStation 5 only meant for games, and that's it. Would never do what PC will accomplish. Okay, yeah, you're right, Scarlett. Even got some Sony ponies on PC too. Yeah, congratulations, that PlayStation gamer. You're actually not a pony, but you're actually have a PC. Congratulations. I'm proud of you, dude. You still play on PlayStation, which is fine, and that's fine. You don't, that PC is going to be better, but you still prefer the PlayStation. And that's what we like. We like people like you. You are a fan of gaming and you're a fan of PlayStation. You're not acting like these PlayStation fanboys. That's why we love you in this community. And we will always accept you in the PC community, even though you play on PlayStation. We accept you. But these ponies, they got to get out. Gates closed for the ponies.
seriously, you should probably check yourself into an appointment with a psychologist or a specialist, because it doesn't really mean much. These companies are out there to make money. It's just like cheering for a team.
Dude, you're the biggest cheerleader ever. You're the biggest cheerleader ever. I should pull up a card from Vanguard to show you how you look, but I'm going to keep it real. I'm not going to do that. Yep, we accept you. That PlayStation gamer. Hello, I'm a Sony main gamer, but play on PC here and there. Thank you. Welcome to the community.
Or whatever. People like to have tribalistic natures to them when it comes to human beings, and the same goes for your favorite console. I personally think that it's impossible to kind of be a neutral in this.
Impossible to be a neutral. Do you ever heard of people that collect retro games? They like all the platforms. They don't care. They also got PC that they can play. So you could be a neutral
Situation, because at the end of the day, human beings have preference. If you go into an ice cream shop, you're going to prefer a flavor over another. You don't just walk in there and say, I like them all the same.
You'd be surprised. There's people out there that say they like them all the same.
No, human beings have preferences, and that's completely okay. But back to the PC weirdos. These PC guys, for the most part, are closet Xbox guys for the most part, and they like
Dude, when I came over to PC, I was a Nintendo person. You got PlayStation people that coming over to PC and don't play on Xbox. So you can't tell, you have no evidence of whoever playing on PC is Xbox. Like for me, I was more Nintendo than anything else. That PlayStation gamer, he's PlayStation over anything else. You have no evidence whatsoever. Quit lying to people.
to insert themselves, like I said, into these discussions. And now, since PlayStation 5 games are going over the PC, we're seeing...
And are you butthurt about that?
More and more situations where even the beefiest rigs out there aren't able to handle the greatness that is PlayStation 5 games.
What's the evidence of that? Please show me the evidence, because I don't believe you one bit.
Saw this first with Returnal. The RAM requirements for Returnal were pretty crazy at that time, and if you look at it, the PlayStation 5's custom AMD RDNA 2 GPU with 36 compute units is actually the equivalent to an AMD RX 6700, which has the same exact compute units.
The Xbox will always be better. In fact, they have more games that support FPS boost at 120 hertz. So I think I know what I enjoy playing games. Exactly. I bought a Xbox game for my PC state of this thing. Oh, congratulations. Okay. Saltiest Gamer, stop talking about specs, because I'm about to expose to you right now. You say it's comparable to a 6700, right? Let me see if I can bring this in. Probably can't bring this in. Okay. I'm using what's called Opera. So what GPU is comparable to a PlayStation 5? With the PlayStation 5 equivalent to NVIDIA graphics card, it should be roughly between the RTX 3060 non-TI and TI. The PlayStation 5 have around 10 teraflops of GPU compute power. It was looking for a similar desktop GPU. Use the same RDNA 2 archetype. That's the Radeon RX 6600 XT. And if you want to be real, those graphics cards was not even talked about when the PlayStation 5 came out. So let's go right here. If the RTX 3060 better than the PlayStation 5, the PlayStation 5 GPU is about the same speed as a 2070 Super, which the 3060 Ti is a little over 10% faster. So technically, if it's current, it was 3060 Ti. But if we're talking about comparable, it's comparable to a 2070 Super. But yet, I got something better. Let's go to one of my videos real quick. Let's go to one of my videos real quick. Videos. If anybody remember, I was talking about Quantum TV. Sorry. Sorry. Let me switch my, what you call it? Let's go right here real quick. And let's talk about, let's watch this video real quick so I can prove you wrong. But before, let's watch this real quick. Did a 1080 Ti. Dude, it's older hardware, dude. You know, it's, and I did say, I did look up, a 1080 Ti is a 3-year-old graphics card, and it's more powerful than your PlayStation 5. But let's keep on watching this. It's a 1080 Ti with ray tracing, dude. It's not that much of a power.
Advertising or using what they advertised in the beginning when they were like, oh yeah, the PS4.
Look at this main custom chip, and this is the AMD. This is the AMD custom chip that's in the PlayStation 5. Let me do this finish for, let's watch this.
5 super powerful, all that good stuff. So my point is simply,
Again, this is where I think Smart Access Memory, or SAM, could be in consideration. I don't know what AMD Smart Shift is. Let's look that up. All right, AMD Smart Shift technology, dynamic shift power between Ryzen processor and Radeon graphics to boost performance for the task at hand. Just check out how. Sure. Oh, fuck. Fuck. I was like, yo, that can't be true. Why am I looking at 6400 Gs, man? That's a laptop processor. Why am I looking at 6400 Gs? What is AMD Smart Shift? Smart performance for amazing device. AMD Smart Shift technology dynamically shift power in your laptop to help boost performance for gaming, video editing, 3D rendering, content creation, and productivity. So no shit to no trash to AMD. Excuse me. If they going to put this into the PlayStation 5, that's why I'm like, yo, there's no way that it could run Smart Access Memory, because I feel like the power might be a little bit too less to run AMD Smart Access SAM, Smart Access Memory, because even I got 1,000-watt power supply in my PC, and I'm like, yo, no, that cannot be true. But it's something similar. AMD Smart Shift technology is something similar, but for laptops. Yo, not lying? I want to be real. Yo, the PlayStation 5 might be as powerful as a $1,000 AMD laptop. I love that. Okay, so brother near, you're not tripping. That was me going over my video. Another thing is, not everyone can afford a gaming PC, as Classic King pointed out. Exactly, I agree. Buy Xbox Series S with good looking games, and that will. I agree with you. Nobody's not going to afford a gaming PC. Well, not current, because you could build one for like $500, but at the same time, nobody want to build, and you're right. Nobody not going to spend that much money on a gaming PC, and I totally agree with you. But here's the thing that I want to say. The fact that he say it's comparable to a 6700, no, I don't. Is and this is where he fell. What's the specs? It got 8 cores, 8 cores, AMD Zen 2. If we look at it, what is it? 67 XTB RAM. If you look at it, it got 12 gigabytes of DDR6 memory. If I'm not mistaken, this is an APU that have 8 cores. So it doesn't have 12 gigabytes of VRAM. And since it doesn't have 12 gigabytes of VRAM, Saltiest Gamer is lying to you. He is pushing his narrative out there. So Saltiest Gamer, you're a liar. Let's finish.
So like I said, Returnal came out for the PC and the requirements were as follows.
Did it come out? Wait, did it come out? Hold up.
Which has the same exact compute units. So like I said,
It
Returnal came out for the PC and the...
Okay, so you did say it came out for the PC. But here's the thing. It might have the same compute units, but it's comparable to a 6600 XT. I even showed you evidence of that. But did Returnal came out? Hold up. Returnal. Oh, yeah. Okay, so store, Returnal. Returnal. $60. Okay, that's not bad. $60. I think I paid 60. Crap Gamer. February 15th. February 15th. Oh boy, you're simple Google search. And so the PlayStation 5 is on RDNA 2. If that's the case, how come it could run on a 6400 and a 1060? Now, I don't know about this Radeon RX 6700 XT. It shouldn't be running like that. Maybe he's falling for that, but I want to keep 100% real with you. Is probably a NVIDIA game, so they just went and got the Radeon. I mean, they just skipped the Radeon because this right here should be way powerful than the 2070 Super. But NVIDIA, we still got like, people will just pick NVIDIA over AMD and vice versa. That should have never been a thing, going to be honest with you. That's dumb. That's dumb. That's one thing I hate about developers. They will prioritize a graphics card over another graphics card. That's something I do hate. That's something that's a problem on PC. So yeah, I hate that. Yep, he is lying. Thank you, David.
Requirements were as follows. You needed an iCore i5, AMD Ryzen 5 1500X.
What? Okay, here's the thing, Saltiest Gamer. When you say i5, what i5 you're talking about? You're talking about the 6400, you're talking about the 5400, or so on and so forth. You can't just say i5. You got to say the full processor. And that's why we say you don't know nothing about the PC area, because anything could be an i5. You got to be more specific. So therefore, another lie right there.
As follows, you needed an iCore i5, AMD Ryzen 5 1500X 4-core, and then where things got a little interesting.
And do you realize that that's not RDNA 2? So you don't really need RDNA 2 to play the game.
Is their RAM requirements. You needed 32 gigs of RAM for the recommended settings.
16 gigs, not 32, 16 gigs. So that's another lie. Get your facts straight.
for Returnal. Now fast forward to Forspoken, which is going to be coming out on the PC, and guess what's getting people all riled up? You're going to need a crazy...
I had to stop right here. So here's the thing. Here's the thing that he's not going to get, that he's not going to understand. Okay, so in the PC community, in a PC space, let me make this one smaller so you can see it. So in the PC community, yes, they will pick Team Red over Team Green, or Team Green over Team Red, or even Team Blue when they use their graphics card. The AMD 5500 XT, this game is based off of AMD, using AMD hardware, because if you look right here, 6800 XT, and they say you need a 4080 to get Ultra, that is a lie. So here's some stuff. There's no such thing as an AMD Ryzen 5 5800. It's 5600. They did upgrade because it used to be GTX, and there was no GTX 3070 or no GTX 4080. I think this is a lie, and I get mad about that. 16 gigs is enough, so I don't know why you need 32 gigs just to play 60 frames a second. That's pitiful. But we know as PC, in the PC community, that this is ridiculous. Very, very ridiculous. That's why you don't know nothing about PC, because a 6800, really? You could run this game on a 3090 or a 3080. This is a little bit too... This is crazy. But of course, all you care about is graphics, but whatever. Exactly, it's a joke. These system requirements is a freaking joke for 60 frames a second. Dude, if you know stuff about PC, then you'll know. But you don't.
Insane amount of RAM for this game on PC.
But let me tell everybody something. Remember the minimum specs, and remember 720, 30 frames a second. Just keep that in the head real quick, okay? Keep that in your back of your head.
PC, and that is 32 gigs of RAM. And now you're asking yourself, well, how is that possible considering that there's only 16 gigs of GDDR6 RAM in the PlayStation 5? Well, the console is a closed platform. Therefore, it's easier for developers to develop for the system. They've spoken on that subject numerous times. Even before the PlayStation 5 launched, they had the dev.
Couple things, Saltiest. You're also a liar right here, too. Because if that's the case, then how come Returnal was a buggy mess? It wasn't optimized. And you're capping for 720p at 24 frames a second. Do you know how embarrassing that is? And look at this right here. If we could go right here. A AMD Ryzen 5 1600 Intel Core i7 3770 with AMD Ryzen RX 5500 XT or NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1060 could run your game way better than your PlayStation 5. This old hardware could run this game better than your PlayStation 5, which is 3 years old compared to probably 6-7-year-old hardware. You know how embarrassing that is? And just for verbatim, here you go. PlayStation 3 specs. The reason why it's so easier to make games on a PlayStation 5 is they had their own CPU, cell broadband engine, and they had their own GPU. So the PlayStation 3 had their own CPU and GPU. And guess what? Developers say it was harder to create games, create ports onto the PlayStation 3 because it had a different CPU and GPU. Let's look at for the Xbox 360. Here's the thing. Let me explain this to you. Custom IBM Power PC based CPU with 3.2 gigahertz cores. If you know about PC, IBM made CPUs at that time. So it was a computer CPU, even though it was custom, aka what you have in your PC, what you have in your PlayStation 3. ATI is AMD with 10 megabytes. The reason why it was easier to make ports on the Xbox is because it was more like a PC. So that's the reason why ports was better on the Xbox, because it was made with PC parts. While Sony, even though they did make PCs, it was hard to make because they had their own CPUs that developers didn't know what to do. And plus, with Xbox coming out a year earlier, they was like, okay, we had time with it. But you're not going to do this because guess what? You don't do any research. So that's the reason why we call you a liar. Yep, 720p in 2013 is a joke. I agree.
Amount of RAM for this game on them. They've spoken on that subject numerous times, even before the PlayStation 5 launched. They had the dev kits. People reported how pleased they were and how easy it was to develop for the PlayStation 5.
It was on AMD hardware. Of course, it was easy to develop. But here's the thing. Games look better on the Xbox Series anyways. Do you realize that Madden, a third-party game, runs better on the Xbox Series than the PlayStation 5? A PlayStation 5 that say it runs 120 frames a second only could run 60 with Madden, while the Xbox Series S, not X, S, could run Madden at 120 frames a second. Whoo. That wasn't easy to develop on was the Xbox One. Exactly. Yeah, I agree. The Xbox One was not easy to develop on. But the reason why I brought the 360 up, because I remember that the PlayStation 3 had their own CPU and GPU that was made by Sony. But it wasn't like PC parts. It was more like their own. It's like with the Jaguar. It was hard to develop on the Jaguar.
And then when you're porting those games over, you have to have other teams work on it. And guess what? The minimum specs for PC are going to be a lot higher. Now, according
Do you realize when they make games, they put the games on the lowest hardware on a PC and then they go up? Because it's easier to make games on minimum specs than maximum. And then they work and then they do all that. And guess what? Your game's made on PC, so it could come over to PlayStation. So yeah, you need PCs.
According to all these PC guys, they have the latest and greatest technology out there. It doesn't matter how much these PC parts cost, they're going to have the best. Even if graphics cards are $2,000, it shouldn't be an issue.
Freaking Microsoft, jeez. I'm trying to figure out where are you even seeing $2,000 where you could get yourself a 3060 Ti that actually will give PlayStation a run for their money for like less than $500. I'm trying to figure out, like, let's go with the lowest. Like, you are literally stretching. Let's go for the lowest. Not 1660. A 6650 that could actually destroy the PlayStation 5 is $279. That's actually a steal. I'm not lying. Also, a Intel Arc, which I kind of want to get, is $289. A 3050, $284. where are you talking about? These graphics cards are good. You're too much of a fanboy. RTS 37 more like Voodoo 3D FX.
issue. So the question that I have is, why is this a big deal, and why are PC dudes complaining and crying about the minimum specs for PlayStation 5 games?
Because developers suck and they don't want to do that much work. They just put down numbers. They don't know how to make the game optimized for what you call it. But I can tell you this though, a low end PC with those recommended specs can outbeat the PlayStation 5 and at what game? Not Returnal, but Forspoken.
Shouldn't be an issue if you're rocking the latest and greatest. Over the past few years, the minimum amount of RAM you need to play PC games was around 8 to 16. Now you look at 2023 and we're getting up to 32 gigabytes of RAM. And honestly, if you're a PC dude and you can't put 32 gigabytes of RAM in your custom rig, then you just need to shut the f up.
My nephew didn't pick it up yet, so give me a second. Saltiest Gamer. This right here, 16 gigs of RAM, a RX 6650 with a Ryzen 3 3200G. This could run Forspoken higher than your PlayStation 5. And this was $600. And it's more powerful than your PlayStation 5. Forspoken, more like forgotten because the devs forgot the newest hardware is this for a reason. I know.
Either that, or you could go out and buy a PlayStation 5 and play it on that platform, because...
So you're telling me you want me to drop down from... Oh, thank you. It's no RGB, but it will upload his PlayStation 5. So you're telling me that you want me to drop something that could run Forspoken a lot better, and you want me to go ahead and get a PlayStation 5 to play the worst version of Forspoken. Nah, I'm good.
We've seen over and over and over with comparisons to PC that the PlayStation 5, for the cost to power ratio of what you're actually getting, is second to none. Like I said, the all digital version of the PlayStation 5 is $400. Now you can't buy much on...
And again, for only having the PlayStation Store, that's a bad deal because there's no competition. All the games going to be $70 if it's like a first party title. So that's not a deal because you could go ahead and find a cheaper version online and get it. That's why I like PC, because it got multiple stores.
PC for $400 these days, and it is insane.
Oh no, you could get a PC for $400. It's just people don't want to deal with it. Good, one forgotten.
That you are able to have a complete system, plug and play into a TV or a monitor for that cost. That's
what?
And it is insane that you are able to have a complete system, plug and play into a TV or a monitor for that cost. That's...
My cousin got a complete PC that he didn't have to build. I built it. All he got to do is plug it in and play. After he set up, there's no more plug and play. What you could do with the PlayStation, you could do with a pre-build. I just pre-built my nephew PC. All you got to do is plug it in, get it set up, and play. You have to plug your PlayStation 5 in, set it up, and play. There's no more plug and play anymore. And after that, you could just turn it on and start playing. That's all. It's just, PC got more functionality than a PlayStation. What you got? Watching TV, watching videos, playing games, and you barely even have a web browser. Well, we got all of that and then some. And plus, if you're streaming, yes, having 32 gigs of RAM is perfect because people only have one system to stream and play games. While with the PlayStation 5, you got to work everything off of that RAM, and that's actually putting a lot of work onto your CPU because you got an APU. Because having a separate graphics card and having a separate CPU to do all of that, it actually helps out with thermal throttling, because a lot of people that do stream like I do, like right now, everything is getting worked off of my GPU instead of my CPU. Again, you don't know nothing about PCs. Just stop and shut up about it.
It's one of the main selling points for consoles these days. Now, you would be an idiot to say that the PlayStation 5 is going to dog walk PCs in performance because, like I said before, they have the RTX, what is it, 4090 now? Over $1,000 just alone for that.
Everybody know I have, let me bring it up. Give me a second. Shoot. L Connect. Everybody know I have AMD 950, AMD Radeon RX 6950 XT. This is pretty much my basic specs. Why do I need to get a 4090? Why do I need to get a 4090? Why? Because it just came out. I'm not spending that much money while this graphics card is still good, that could ray trace and everything. This is a powerful graphics card. Why do I need to upgrade to a 4090 or a 7900 XTX? Why do I need to upgrade if my graphics card right now is just enough? Doesn't make sense. Because it's brand new and the graphics card is old, it's not even out of date. Most games on Steam still run off of a 1060. Again, don't know nothing about PCs. The minimum spec of most games are GTX 1060s or 1050s because they still reliable cards. And you can run AMD FX Fidelity on it to keep it up and keep it modern. Don't know nothing about PCs, dude.
You can have custom CPUs, you can have dual CPUs, you can dual wield your GPUs, you can have water cooling, you can pay as much as you...
Dual CPUs. Last time I heard a dual CPU is like for a server. But you don't need dual CPUs. Tell me that you don't know nothing about PCs without telling me that you don't know anything about PCs. Yeah, you're right, until it dies, but hey, I can still fix it. And it got more of a what you call it. Yeah, Forspoken gameplay is overhyped. Also, the Xbox Series X, because it's like a PC minus price, and also you can attach the internal SSD. Where with the PlayStation 5, yeah, you're right. My brother got an Xbox Series X and he's enjoying it. But you're right on that one. Mostly consoles are PCs, but Xbox, they give you a web browser, making it more like a PC.
You want for a PC. I've heard people pay $5,000, $10,000 for a rig, so it's stupid to bring up that argument when you compare.
Trying to find one real quick. Actually, let me go ahead and do this. Oh. So for $800, you can get this Lenovo. Dang, are you serious? Refresh. For $800, you can get this Lenovo desktop for $700. I mean, for $800. Is it 800 or for $800? You can get this Lenovo desktop. Not pretty inside, but you got an SSD, you got a graphics card 3050, but it's not about the power of the graphics card. It's about you can get yourself a rig for $800. You're a liar. Forspoken will be forgotten when the Dead Space remake comes. Ooh, my $70 are going to Dead Space. Yeah, you can't actually stream your PC to your Xbox via wireless display. Okay, I did not know that. Cool. So Saltiest Gamer, you're a liar. You can get yourself a rig for $800. Or you can have somebody build it if you can get the parts cheaper. So this argument of spending $5,000 to $1,000 is a lie. Even my rig was like less than $3,000, but I just added everything up because I bought my graphics card for like what, $700. Got my RAM for like what, 120. CPU got it for like $400. But I just went off of market price. You could go to other places to get the stuff cheaper. Same Dead Space remake will be the better, hopefully. Like, my graphics card is new. My friend bought it and he's like, he about to use it, but he found a 3090 Ti for $700 because somebody was trying to sell their 3090 for the 4090. And he's like, I want to get it. Boom. And he asked me, do I want that graphics card? I'm like, yeah. Boom. There we go. So yes, you can find different places so you can get cheaper stuff. And you're just too dumb to realize that.
Comparing these two, but it's pretty funny to see all the bitching and moaning from the PC side when it comes to these ports and what the minimum specs are, because based on polls and actual data, the majority of PC dudes out there aren't rocking a RTX 4090. They're rocking some like piece of shit GPU, some...
Dude, are you serious? A 1060 is still legit. It still runs. And you're calling it a piece of crap? That's funny. That's funny. That's funny. I want to know what will you do with your PlayStation 5 when the Pro come out or a PlayStation 6 come out? What, you going to upgrade like we do?
potato rig that can barely run games at 10.
But yet the potato rig could run Forspoken better than your PlayStation 5. A 3 to 4 year old PC could run Forspoken better than the PlayStation 5 because you're running at 720p at 24 frames a second. Imagine your game runs worse than a potato rig.
1080p, having 1080p monitors and stuff like that, but when they talk online, they flex their muscles and they're like, yeah, I got the latest.
Sorry, I don't measure up to Griffith's standard. Yo, President Jim Ryan, I think Saltiest Gamer want to make out with you, dude. Not gonna lie. Same. Is the music sound like farts and 808 drum kits? Yes, I'm not usually the Xbox app. I'm not using the Xbox app to stream games. I'm streaming anything to HBO, Netflix, right? Dude, you want me to keep it real? I'd rather watch the HBO Velma over this crap. This Saltiest Gamer. I'm about to call him Crap Gamer, but they sound the same. Put a 1 if you'd rather watch. Okay, so 1 for Velma, 2 for Saltiest Gamer. Which one would you rather prefer?
And greatest. But I want to know from you guys, what do you think of this whole situation with PC dudes complaining about RAM requirements or minimum specs for these PlayStation 5 games? What's the main reason why you game on console, specifically the PlayStation 5? Is it the plug and play nature of it?
quit saying plug and play. There's no such thing as plug and play anymore because you have to update it and everything. Ooh, you said 2 for Saltiest Gamer? I can't be mad about that. But I rather ooh. Dang. I'm going to keep it 100%. I might rather watch Velma. I'm dead serious. I'd rather just watch Velma. I'd rather watch all 10 episodes of Velma back to back. Not gonna lie.
Are you just used to that platform? Do you not want to mess with blue screens to death or optimizing your settings?
Didn't somebody PlayStation 5 did not work?
And if you are a PC dude or woman in the chat, let me know why you do PC as opposed to console.
Okay, I got you. Because I don't want to be lied to. Nah, I already sent in the chat there. Boom. That's it. I'm about to make myself big. Give me a second. Oh boy. But more power to you. Fair enough. I mean, Velma is bad. Velma's bad. Like, I think I could do a better story than Velma. If y'all want me to sit down and make a Scooby-Doo version, like, more up to date, like, I could write it if you want me to. I think I got a good mindset because I didn't grow up on Scooby-Doo. My mom did, but I watched Scooby-Doo when I was younger. It was one of my childhood, like the old one, Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are you? That one. I watched that so many times. And A Pup Named Scooby-Doo. I watched both of those, but I think I got a good idea. Like just imagine, like, let's say their origin, right? They're in high school. Fred wanted to do this is my idea with the net. If I did Scooby-Doo, Fred just got a band and he wanted to start a mystery club. Velma is not on social media. She's actually smart, like she's supposed to. Daphne, she invented the Scooby snack, for trying to make a snack that is like safe for dogs to eat and humans could consume. Shaggy went to the pound and he saw a dog that he loved that talked, and they all came into a club and solved mysteries. And Fred got a van for his birthday. I thought that would be perfect. And then you got Daphne who made those to make those snacks, and you got Shaggy and Scooby eating those snacks every time they try to solve a mystery. And not Velma. Velma, she's smart. She planned everything, and then got Daphne calling the snacks, trying to figure out what the name of snack is, and Scooby-Doo say Scooby-Doo. I think that'd be perfect. But what do I know? That'd be perfect for a Scooby-Doo start. But hey, whatever. Yo, like, this is one thing I do hate, okay? And I'm not trying to sound like racist or anything, because I'm not trying to, but think about it. Most of the black male characters are like beta simps now. Like, I don't see any of the black males who was like strong, basketball athletic, is either nerd beta simps. And I'm like kind of mad about it. Oh yeah. But the thing is, David, I'd still want that classic. Oh, the kids don't know Shaggy is a stoner, but the adults know that he's a stoner. I don't like when I was a kid, I never saw Shaggy as a stoner until I got older. So I still want to keep that joke in there, Shaggy and Scooby say, hey Scoob, let's go to the bathroom, like that. And you see what you call it. Ooh, I'm going to watch it. I want to watch it. I'm going to have to check it out. But yeah, I don't want like I want Shaggy to be a stoner, but I want the kids to watch it, so it cannot be known that he's a stoner. So it's kind of like hidden, but you know, you have the adults knowing that he's a stoner, but the kids don't know. They're like, oh, Shaggy and Scooby is funny. You like see they make a joke, and then you can watch it with your kids. Like, yeah, Shaggy and Scooby is funny. You know, I still want that mindset where I was as a kid because I never knew Shaggy and Scooby was high, you know? Like it gotta be that's where the joke was. Like Shaggy and Scooby, they was like the punchline, but at the same time, they was just high, you know? Like that's one thing I do want. I do kind of want the stuff to be hidden, you know? But what do I know? Okay, that's it with the stream. I'm about to get ready for bed because it's hot. But yeah, if you want me to make that Scooby Doo, I don't want to say fanfic. I think I just do like an episode. I had to sit down and write it. But hey, if you like it, I mean, if you like the stream, let me know. I'm about to go ahead and end it tonight because I'm starting to get tired. But yeah, I think that's it with the stream. I'm about to end it. I think I did like 3 hours. Hey, that's fun. But hey, everybody's human. My name's Sendo Q. You have yourself a great day. And happy 2023. Peace.